have the very best of the company.
I'm sure I probably did. I think so. I mean, I'm probably sure. Yeah.
How do you go about kind of having some kumbaya with somebody before you start the season? I mean, are you going to have to spend more time at the shop, or I mean, how do you kind of do that, or do you even need to develop some sort of a?
Yeah, of course. I think the relationship between the two people certainly needs to be strong, and I think that I feel as though I can build one with just about anyone. And ultimately, results is what really matters in our series, and things are always great when results are good and you're winning, and you know you can win every single week, and that's something that I've had really over the last 5 years. So I think that it makes it easy as long as the performance is there, and so obviously already had those conversations with Chris to kind of get the ball rolling, and we'll see where it goes from here.
How do you reflect on the success that you were able to achieve with Chris Gabehart, and what are the emotions now that you know that era has ended?
Yeah, I mean, I'm certainly very grateful for everything that he helped build with the 11 car, and certainly the success that we had. Happy for him and certainly his promotion, and I'm happy for JGR and hopefully what it will bring to everyone else.
Why do you think that Chris Gabehart will be a great competition director? We know you loved him as a crew chief, but why do you think as a competition director he will help Joe Gibbs Racing?
I think he's got a very good leadership style to him. I think that certainly, it probably, if you're soft, it's going to rub you the wrong way. I think if you're strong-minded and you are willing to take constructive criticism, I think he's a great leader as far as that's concerned. So, generally speaking, I think he probably felt like there was changes that needed to happen within the team that he couldn't do from sitting in his crew chief seat.
Are you hurt by this decision? Like, are you mad? Are you, because it seemed like you guys had such a good thing going.
I mean, I certainly was shocked by it. That's all.
Did he tell you? Did he call you in and say, "Listen, I want to do this. I need your support"? No. How did you hear about it?
I got called into another 6 o'clock meeting. I'm never going to JGR at 6 o'clock ever again, by the way. All those meetings are bad.
So you were shocked at a meeting, and that's how you found out
I'm never
about it?
going again. Huh?
You were shocked at a meeting, and that's how you found out about it?
Yeah.
Does that surprise you?
It does, but I mean, again, they've got to do what's best for the company, and I think that they're looking for an improvement on performance on the 54, and they're looking for an overall performance for all the teams, because we certainly hadn't won the amount of races as an organization is what we should have.
What will it take for Chris, because he's apparently not bringing his other crew guys with him, like he's assuming the 11 team from what I understand.
Yes.
So is it going to be more the team guys adjusting to Chris, or Chris adjusting to the team, and how will that
I think probably the team guys adjusting to Chris, if I had to guess, because certainly I'm very familiar with all the A team, and certainly the engineers. Our lead engineer has been with me now for lots of years. We had a new secondary engineer come in last year, so he'll be new, and then you'll have Chris Gayle that's new. But I think it's just what I like about Chris and what I've heard so far is that he's willing to adapt to the way me and Chris has done it, and also add his own flavor to it as well, which is good, because I think always new perspectives are always good.
I know it's fresh, but what qualities in Chris Gayle do you feel like may benefit you going into next year?
I mean, truthfully, I don't know him that well, so it's hard for me to really say. But I mean, he's been anytime JGR has an employee for 20 years, they believe in him. So I would say, I think he probably knows me more than I know him, truthfully. I think that the teams obviously all work together very closely, and when we debrief every Monday, and I'm giving advice on where we should steer this ship, he's taking notes, and so I think that it probably will bear fruits, quicker results than had I had to start over with someone younger and fresh.
You think the tipping point was not having a car in the championship for?
I'm not really sure. I just know in general we didn't win the amount of races that probably Joe expected us to, and at that point, I think that he's trying to show he's making changes to make that better.
How does it change?
Riley made him the right guy for the third car at 2311?
Well, there was a connection there, obviously, with Monsters and the support that they've given Riley. They've already been a partner of ours for quite some time. And truthfully, if you listen to my podcast over the last year and a half, I've been really high on Riley's growth. I think he's, certainly matured into, I can't say that I was hugely impressed with Riley his first year or two, but sometimes it just takes drivers a little bit longer. And when he took off, in my opinion, the last year has been wildly impressive, and it was enough for me to pull the trigger.
When did conversations
purchase for the charter from SHR?
What's that?
Have you completed the purchase of the charter from SHR?
Nothing's completed, no.
Do you know what could happen with that yet? I know
I know all the options, but obviously can't run through them with you.
When did conversations with Riley start?
It was probably summer. It was early on. It wasn't something that happened right away. Certainly, I've said for quite some time that I believe that 3 teams is kind of a good sweet spot, and especially with our sport and the economics of it, it certainly makes for better economics in your scaling to have 3. But yeah, it's been a process that's been going on for quite some time, and so months and months.
Aside from I'm still going to be the reserve driver next year, and is he still a part of 2311's future?
Yes, he absolutely is. That's all I'll say about that.
Aside from his driving skill, Riley as a person behind closed doors in meetings, talking to him, hanging out with him, what kind of guy is he for the culture of the team?
I'm sorry, ask your question again.
What kind of I guess him as a person, what kind of person is he to bring to the culture of 2311? More
Riley.
So yeah.
I just think it's another data point for our drivers. I think it's a way, when Tyler came in, it quickly gave Bubba a measuring stick of where he needed to be. When Riley comes in, he's going to have 2 data points, guys driving the same equipment that he's driving, to give himself a data point, and we're going to be patient with him, right? And then understand that the jump from Saturday to Sunday is a really, really big one. We've seen guys win 8 races and championships, and really struggle to run 20th, at times in the rookie year. So I think patience is going to have to be something that everyone's going to have. We have it. And I think that generally speaking, he's going to have some really good teammates in Bubba and Tyler. We've seen how close those 2 guys are, and that's a lot of that is the culture that 2311 has built as a team to pull the rope in the same direction. So that's going to be a big benefit for him.
Back to the crew chief change. How does a change like that keep you fresh? Where you and Gabehart had established such a rhythm for so many years. How does that keep you fresh in thinking of new ideas now with Chris Gayle at the helm?
I'm motivated. I'm certainly motivated at this point. So, it's just human nature, right? When when Belichick and Brady split, it was like, well, who was it? Was it him or was it you, right? So I think you're always going to have that motivation of want to show that it was you.
Well, Brady won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So what does it say if you
trust me, I got all kinds of explanations.
So what does it say if you win a championship next year with the crew chief change?
Oh, yeah.
It'd be nice for sure.
Would something as simple as awarding a playoff point for the driver that leads the most laps each race, would that help the current format?
I'm not really sure. I think that certainly, I think probably the more simple, quick tweak would just be increasing whatever bonus points you get during the regular season, just increasing them, giving the guys that really get 30, 40 points under this current system. That was the Seabells, the Larsons. They deserve to have a really good buffer there to make it through the rounds, because you just we're in a sport that you can get caught up in so many wrecks and different things that can happen. So I think certainly rewarding. It's not about not rewarding race winners in the playoffs. It's rewarding. I think we're trying to get to, and the message we're trying to send is make the regular season matter more, right? Those 26 races, it's proving to not be that substantial to winning a championship, and that's not something you want. So I think that my message to NASCAR would be, well, make the regular season worth more, not just the championship, but the accomplishments that you make, the points that you get. Because right now, over the last 3 years, you would say, the champion didn't really have to do much in the regular season, and that's just probably not good.
So 2311 participate in the Clash?
I don't know. I think a lot of dominoes need to fall, sponsorship, things like that. So I don't know that decision's been rock solid made yet, but we things are so fluid. Over the next few weeks, we'll probably know more. Sorry.
You probably want Booty not Booty, but Bubba to work with Charles. I mean, does that matter? For them to work together?
It's always the Clash is always a good repetition. A rep. Yeah, it's certainly one where, even though you don't have pit crews there, it's good for the teams to work some kinks out. So yes, but also, it's you're probably going to go there and tear up a lot of stuff. So I don't know. We'll see.
Do you
If
have a
somebody
chance?
needs a vacation, it's probably you.
That's-
But given everything that's going on, all the balls you're juggling right now, do you see taking the girls anywhere between now and the Clash?
I'd love to. I really want to. I don't have anything planned right now because of just work. It's just, it's just nonstop right now. I treat. I'm really like a 9 to 5 type person at this moment. I go to my office and work all day to on things I got to work on. So I want to certainly give them that opportunity to spend some time with them.
And
I just don't have anything on the books right now.
How big a change is that for you, Denny? Because obviously, before you owned a team, maybe you could do something. And I mean, how big a change is your life and the work and the things that you have to do now with everything going on?
Yeah, it's a balance for sure. I feel like I've done a really good job of balancing that, and maybe JGR just didn't want to put another thing on my plate in the middle of the playoffs, and so they waited till after the season to make the change. But I feel like I've certainly balanced those things, and I just can say with you with an honest, straight face that I've never been on the racetrack not prepared and not given it my 100% effort. So. The off season, while it's definitely a time to relax, it's different for everyone, right? And I think that if you ask Kyle Larson or someone, they're probably, hey, I'm going to go race 5 dirt races this week and do that for all the months. And you have others that just want to disconnect and do nothing. And then you got people like me who just likes to work. It doesn't have to be racing, but I just like to work, and so that's my way of getting away from the sport for a little bit.
What's your biggest worry about competing as an open team next season?
Well, obviously the biggest is Daytona 500. I think and then any other you got many other teams kind of publicly saying that they're going to be racing open or have additional cars throughout the season. So there's always a risk there that you can miss races. Certainly Daytona 500 is the biggest one, and certainly it's our biggest race, and certainly the one that we're most at risk of. But we'll navigate whatever we got to do.
How do you hope?
Steven Stump of Frontstretch.com here. Come back for more great racing videos, and if you like us, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.